Hey everyone, what's going on? It's me, Leaf from Coding with Leaf. Today we're talking about how to deploy our smart contracts to either Ethereum mainnet or maybe a test network, and this would also hypothetically work with Binance Smart Chain, any other Ethereum-based blockchain. All right, so let's actually get into how to do that. But before we do it, I just want to do a quick side note. I'm currently putting out all this content for free. I don't have any sponsorships, and I make very little through YouTube ad revenue. So it would really be appreciated if you could hit that like button so this video gets pushed out to other blockchain developers trying to learn this stuff. So thank you so much in advance. And also, if you're interested in more blockchain content, consider subscribing because that's what we do here on this channel. So let's get into it right now. Let's just make a new let's make a new Hardhat project, and we just do npm init, just initialize a new npm project, then all the default settings, we're just going to call it test. Let's do npm install Hardhat. When we install Hardhat, we're going to get it in our node modules, obviously. And then once it's installed, we're going to npx Hardhat, which is the command to initialize a new Hardhat project. And that's going to also give us the option to start a npx Hardhat. That's going to give us the option to create a sample project. And this sample project is going to have some smart contract, or a smart contract in it already. So I'm not going to have to write anything for that. This video is strictly about deploying. And a side note, one thing I did off camera was here it recommends that I need to install these dependencies to run the sample project. And you need to run Hardhat, you need Hardhat waffle, you need Ethereum waffle, chai, Hardhat ethers, and ethers. All these dependencies you need in order to run this project. So I just quickly ran it and installed it. Cool. So now that I have all the dependencies needed for this project to work, let's actually get into how we can actually do this. So obviously we have our contract here, pretty simple contract. And then let me just show a little more so you guys can see it. It's just a simple setter and getter contract. Now, the next thing we have is in our scripts, we have sample script. This script actually is the thing that we run when we want to deploy to a network. So this line here gets a contract factory, which is kind of like a JavaScript object of a Solidity contract. This here awaits deploying the contract, passing it this value in the constructor, and then we just await it being deployed, and then we log to the console what's the address it was deployed to. And basically here we just run this function. Cool, pretty easy. Nothing too complex happening there. So now that's the default in a Hardhat project. You'll have to write your own if you want to use not the sample project. You'll have to write your own deployment script, but it's the same type of rule set. So now let's actually get into the Hardhat config, because this is where we're gonna have to set up this thing called our networks tab. So networks is an object that takes any amount of objects. In our case, we're going to be deploying to the Ropsten testnet. So we're just going to call this object here called Ropsten. And then it's going to have two parameters. It's going to have a URL, which takes string. And then it's going to have a accounts, which takes an array of strings. And obviously these strings contain accounts. So that's what we need to do. So we need to find how to get this URL, which is actually a Ethereum node. And we need to figure out how to get an account. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that real quick. The first thing we're going to get our node is we're going to go to moralis.io. This is a way to get a free node. And once you create a free login, this is completely free. That's why I recommend it. Let's go into our admin panel here once I've logged in, and then go to Speedy Nodes. And then we're just going to go to the ETH network, find endpoints on the ETH network. So now I'm going to blur my nodes because these are my personal nodes, but we're just going to go to the Ropsten section and we're going to copy and paste that. So once we have that copy and pasted, I'm going to paste it into the URL section. Cool. Now we need an account. So this is going to be a private key for an account on that network. So the easiest way to get a Ropsten account or a Ropsten wallet, that's very, very convenient to use. So let's just open up here. I have it in my Chrome, and I already have a Ropsten test network. It's loaded with some test ETH. If you don't know how to get test ETH for the Ropsten test network, just Google Ropsten faucet, and you're going to find a website that you can enter your public key on the Ropsten network, and then get one test ETH every 24 hours. So I do that every once in a while, just to get some test ETH for testing on Ropsten. So now we're going to go to here, account details, and then we're going to go into export private key. You're going to type in your password, and then you're going to receive your private key. I already did that, so we don't have to do that on screen. Now that I have my export private key, Then I'm going to go back into my VS Code, and we're just going to paste in our private key here under accounts. And obviously you guys can't see this. I don't want you to be able to steal my accounts, but that's basically all that we need to do in order to actually get this to work. So how do we actually run this? Well, first of all, we have to save the Hardhat config. And then the next thing we have to do is go into our terminal. In the same folder, obviously, we're going to run npx hardhat. Then we're going to do run, and we're going to do scripts dash. This is going to be the location of our script. So obviously this is going to be sample script.js. So this is our scripts, sample script-js, sample-script.js. Then we're going to do -- networks, or -- network. And then we're going to go, I'm just going to move my camera down so you guys can see it a little better. And then we're going to call Ropsten. Great. So this is actually going to work right now. It's going to compile the files, turn it into an artifacts. Then we're going to run our sample script. Once we compiled our Solidity, or here, I'm just going to move this up. Once we've compiled our Solidity code, then we are going to run the sample script. The sample script is going to actually take care of deploying. So, and then once it's done deploying to the Ropsten network, then we are going to get a console log telling us where it was deployed to. And we will verify this on etherscan.io. Hey guys, we're back. So I just edited the video real quick. Deploying to the Ropsten testnet can take a very long time because the blocks are mined very slowly because there's no real money incentivizing people to mine this. So now we have, it's been about 10 minutes and it was finally mined. So now we have this contract address on the Ropsten network. So I'm going to copy this address and I want to show you two things. So first of all, I'm going to show you that in my MetaMask wallet, a little bit of my ETH was taken because it took some ETH to pay the gas fee to deploy this smart contract. Next thing I want to show you is on etherscan.io. We're going to switch over to the Ropsten testnet. And once we're on Ropsten testnet, we're going to type in this, or we're going to copy and paste this contract address and let's search for it. And we can see that there was a contract address that was actually deployed to the network. And we can see 10 minutes ago, it was mined. I took a brief step away. You can see the transactions that happened in the contract here. And we see here, it was from this account, which is the same account right here. 0x7240, 7240, and then it just keeps going on. This public key matches. So you can see that my account was actually the one that deployed this to Ropsten testnet. So if you wanted to deploy to Ethereum mainnet, what you would need is you would need the certain amount of money to deploy the contract. Obviously, you'd need that amount of money, $160 about right now, as the time me making that video in this video in Ether on your Ethereum mainnet. You would copy and paste your private key on your Ethereum mainnet wallet. Then you would take an Ethereum mainnet node from Moralis. Then you would just change those values in the module.exports object, and that would be enough to deploy to a live net. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. Remember, if you appreciate this blockchain content, I'd love for you guys to subscribe. I'd love to see you guys. If you have any questions or any concerns or any video idea or any requests or anything like that, please leave them in the comments down below. I read all the comments and I try to respond to all the ones that make sense to do so. So thank you guys so much for watching. And also another side note is that if you are interested in any sort of blockchain consulting, I am available. I put my Twitter bio or my Twitter in the description of this video, so you can check down there and DM me on Twitter if you have any consulting requests or anything like that. I have very low fees. I can make ERC20 tokens, NFTs, anything like that. So super simple stuff. I can do that for you. So have a nice day, guys. See you in the next video. Bye.